Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over a planner I haven't talked about too much, and it is my big ol' blue sky planner. Now this is probably the biggest planner I have in size, and I actually affectionately call it my workhorse planner. And it's partly because I do use it for work primarily, and I don't try to achieve planner perfection in this one at all. It is kind of a free-for-all, and I'll kind of show you some example pages of how I use it. I think this is a really great, affordable, it's pretty cheap planner for you to use. If you're not looking for planner perfection, you just want to get, ish done. I think this is a great option, and that's why I used it for work. Now, I know I said previously that I use like electronic documents for things like that, but this is really things I need on the fly. I can't find it in a document. I need to write something down. I need to draw like some kind of diagram where it's really not that easy to do electronically in the moment. This is what it's for. So I'll go over kind of why it might work for you and how it's worked for me. And then you can decide for yourself if this might be another planner edition for you. Okay, so I have two of my blue sky planners here. This one just ended in June, and I have the version that's July to June for both of these. They do have a January to December version of this, but I must have stumbled upon this in the middle of the year and they just kind of latched on after that. I only have two today, but I have used these planners for about 4 or 5 years. It's just that anything that I really need to retain that's important, they're all in my electronic work documents, right? These are just personal notes for me, which I just don't feel like is that important for me to keep, or I scribbled it on here really quickly and I already transferred it into a more permanent space. So I kind of throw these out. I don't, these are not like keepsakes or memory planning for work for me. So they do get thrown out. Now, one of the first things I love about this is it's huge. It is I think it's like a 8.5 by 11, so regular printer paper, regular notebook size. It's the biggest one I have. I'll show you my passion planner. I don't really know exactly what the size of this is, but this is the medium one. So this is the second biggest planner I have. And then of course, if you have like an A5 Hobonichi, you can see it's much bigger here. And then I even have my Sterling Ink B6 Slim for reference here as well. So it's pretty substantial in size, but I love it. I think one of the things that I do love about this too is that my arm is never like running out. And even if it is, the more compact a planner is, the thicker it kind of is, right? Because it's still trying to keep 365 days for you. So it does feel a little bit thicker. This one, even on its thickest day, where it's like completely closed, I mean, it's the width of it is not that much. So even if my hand is falling off, it's not that noticeable. It doesn't even, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. So to me, it's very easy to write, and like my wrist isn't always falling off, and I like that it just lies flat open. And that's kind of, that's the beauty of a lot of these other more expensive planners too, that they lie flat open. I like the spiral one so that I can, very obvious things, right? I like that I can flip it back, it stays flat. So those are the very obvious things about why I like this planner. Now, another important thing about this planner is it is cheap, okay? When I first started buying these planners, they were $8.99, $9.99. I think I got my first one at Target. Over the years, it has gone up in price a little bit, literally $1.50. So I just checked on Amazon, on Target. On Amazon, it's actually $11.99, and on Target today, it's $10.99. Now, I don't know when you're going to see this video, but at least for now, it's only $11.99 at its highest price. And Blue Sky does come with other covers. I add no pizzazz for my work stuff, guys. I just go with basic black. There's, Blue Sky does have like decorative kind of covers, same exact format. Everything is just the cover looks a little bit prettier. So if this black one isn't your thing, then I'm sure you could find another cover that you might like a little better. So this one, let me go start and kind of show you what it looks like in the inside. So I'm trying to be really careful because this is my work planner, so I don't want to show anything sensitive, but luckily, so I'm going to open to a page that's blank for this one. This older one is from a different company I worked at, a few years ago, so I'm not as concerned about what I show in here, but, okay, anyway. All right, so this is the monthly section. It's huge. I don't personally use the monthly section. I don't really have a use for it. But what I love about it is I love that it's lined. I don't know if you guys can see it really. You see how it's lined like that? That's actually one of the things I don't like about, I don't know, the Passion Planner per se, which I never use the monthly section. I tried to in the beginning and I don't like it because it's not lined. I don't like it unlined. I've even actually tried to line it before. It's just a B. Like it takes so much time. So I do like lined everything. So this one, if that is something that you look for, there are some, you actually have to kind of be a little careful. Blue Sky has a lot of different like versions and layouts. So flip through when you see it or through the pictures, is it lined or not, if that matters to you. To me, it matters. I always pick the one that's completely lined. I was able to find a blank page. It turns out I used almost every week in this thing, which, is a testament to how much this planner worked for me. So this is the only blank page I could find because I wanted to show you guys just like a clean slate. Obviously, this is a horizontally kind of laid out planner. There's no time blocking involved here, and I don't believe in time blocking for my work because I use my office Outlook for that entirely. My job is a Monday through Friday gig. So for me, this works very well. It has the biggest sections for those days, and then the Saturday, Sundays are smaller. Now, if your work does not look like that, take that into consideration because the Saturday and Sunday section is smaller. This is why this is perfect for work for me. I wouldn't use this in a personal way because sometimes my Saturdays and Sundays are quite full in my personal life. Another thing I love, it's lined. There are Blue Sky planners that do have unlined sections. I don't like that. I love this. I like bulleting tasks for myself, highlighting it neatly. But I also feel like I can draw diagrams still relatively neatly, so it makes sense because it gives some kind of guidance for keeping things straight and organized. So that's why I love this. It's just huge. I can do, I have space to do whatever I need to do with work. I'm going to show you one where it's a little bit more filled out to give you an idea of what I mean by the way I kind of organize my work notes in here. All right, so I found an example of the way I used it at my old job. So this is like outdated information, but I pretty much use my planner this way to this day. So what I would do is I would write the tasks down probably the Friday before or Monday, everything I want to do. Once the task is done, I would highlight over it to just pretty much let myself know I don't really have to think about that anymore. But, my line of work wasn't like my life is over if it's not done on Monday. It just kind of rolls over, and I just try to get it done anytime during that week. And for whatever reason, if I don't get to it, probably on Friday afternoon, I would start writing it in the next Monday so that, I don't forget about it by the next Monday that I still didn't do it and I need to do it soon. So that's kind of how I would use this planner. I, again, work a Monday through Friday job, so this works really well for me. My Monday through Wednesday is usually the heaviest with note taking, and then it kind of tapers off towards the end of the week because I'm still trying to get this stuff done. There are pages in here where I'm drawing kind of like diagrams of things, flow charts, things that are just, need some free flowing space, which is why I love this. It's just my go-to. All of this is for me to know at my desk, and I just think it worked really well for me in kind of that kind of working environment. So again, all my pages kind of have a similar feel like this. So now I'm going to kind of talk about why I love this and how this is so different from all my other planners. I'll tell you first and foremost, I do not feel planner perfection with this one at all. I don't know if it's the price point. I don't know if it's the paper quality. I don't know if it's because it's tied to work. But am I worrying about what I'm going to put here in my weekly goals? And does this planner belong to me? No, I don't care. Do I rip off random pieces on here so that I can throw away my gum? Yes, I do, because I just don't care. Do I care about important dates and contacts for work? No, I don't. I think the ish out of my other planners and how I'm going to utilize every section. It's just not the case with my work planner. So it takes a lot of the planner perfection and stress off for me because work is stressful. I'm not trying to, make it more stressful by doing that. And it's kind of weird, right? Because it's supposed to be a hobby. Like my other planner is supposed to be my hobby, my stress relief. And then I also stress about how I'm going to use it because I want to make sure I utilize every space. So it's funny. Next point. I do not decorate this planner at all. So you'll see here, everything is pen, highlighter. I'll just show you a few of these. Nothing fancy. No stickers, no washi, no rulering, nothing. Let's just get to the point. Let's get work done. Let's organize for work. Let's be a good worker. But that's all the effort I'm going to give when it comes to work planning. Like this. It's business. Now, this is how else I use my work planner that bleeds into my personal planner. And if any of you guys are like me and want your planner to look a certain way and you want to practice in your workhorse planner, this is my suggestion to you. Okay, so this is an example of a very real but embarrassing way I use my workhorse planner, and you may too if you would like. I practice things in my workhorse planner that I don't want to do in my nice planners because I think I might make it ugly or I might mess up. So, some of you guys know I'm a Taylor Swift fan, and I was trying to practice the 1989 handwriting she does on her albums and all her other stuff for that album. You can see that I mess up a lot. I'm using different colors, and some of it looks almost kind of nice and some of it looks just plain ugly. But that is what this planner is for. Now, another thing I do for this one, I love to also swatch on this planner. So I'm going to give you an example really quick of why this swatching is necessary for me in my workhorse planner. So I'm going to zoom out. So I'm going to show you my process, and I've shared it before, is I always start my planning process with a sticker first, because sticker colors are not changeable. That's permanent. So if I have a theme, like a vibe, this one was a floral vibe, I get that, and then I swatch the colors. I swatch the colors on this notebook first. I lost the page. But this is like an example of a swatch, right? So I would swatch the colors on here. Obviously this is not the exact one, but I would put it next to the sticker I want and see, okay, those markers work, those don't. I guess I could swatch in the back of the planners, like a lot of people do, but sometimes, I do it this way, especially if I have some markers that are dying, like this one. Can you guys see how dying that red one is? It's because I finally let my daughter use some of my older markers that, like this one, I think it's this one, the one that I'm not using that much, super cheap. It was like $7.99 on Amazon, but my daughter is a YOLO queen. Okay, that one's okay. Which one is it that's absolutely massacred? Yeah, this one. Do you see that? I would never let my Tombow pens get like that. Watch, let me see. Yeah, see? Pathetic. But just in case my markers are like that, I haven't swatched all of these pens or markers, and I don't know the state of them, because they might look like that, but they might still have a lot of ink. I do it on my workhorse planner so that in my personal planner, the expectation of what that ink and color and the thickness and the fullness of it should look like is really easy for me. So in the beginning, I touched on why I only have 2 of these left, even though I've used these for quite a few years now. And I did say it's because I throw them away after I'm done. I don't use these for memory keeping, guys. These are one and done, very unimportant to me planners, but it is super helpful when I'm using it. But again, it's not going to be shelved, for a keepsake for me. Now, if you are a parent, this is something you might want to do, because my daughter loves this. It would just give her so much joy to be able to get into my planners and all my markers and all my washi tape. But I don't let her do that because this is my space. But what I do let her do after I'm done with this is I give her these notebooks. And I give her a day or 2 or whatever, random days of crafting with all my stuff. Not my Tombow pens, but by other stuff. And what she does is, let me show you her first creation. She goes all out. She is just so happy that I let her do this. She uses all my washi. She puts all this, I got her a huge sticker book so that she feels like she has her own set. She just goes crazy, and she just feels like she's doing something with me. I'm sitting here doing my planning. I give her this and she goes through it and she puts stickers like this. She goes through all my pages and like crosses it out and writes random things on there like she's planning like me. So she just loves it, and that's why I've kept like the last two for her whenever she feels like she wants to do office work like mommy does. She does this. So I think it's like a great, you know, thing. If your kids are super interested and wondering what you're doing and, you know, wants to get into it like you, and you have a planner like this where you don't put too much effort into it, and when you're done, you're done. I don't know. I think it's a great option to give your kids to let them play with it after and see what like the planning is. Today actually is so funny. I'm gonna show you this week's passion planner week. My kids have seen me do this so many times, and they know now that it's off limits. Like they can't look at my stuff. I'm gonna show you something really quick. You guys see here, I put pick up my kids. I forgot to put that. And my son looks at it and he goes, "What? Where's pick up my kids? Are you gonna forget to pick us up today?" Like they know. So they know like how this works. They know it's important to me. And if you have a daughter like mine who's super artsy fartsy and she's like dying to get into it with you, that's a great option before you check it. So I hope that was helpful. This is my workhorse planner. I love this thing, but I also treat it like crap, but I still love it. It's so helpful for me. And if you have something like this that you use, oh, by the way, Blue Sky also has smaller ones in different formats. So don't limit yourself just to this, but this size is perfect for me and it's worked really well. So let me know if there's another planner that is just as cheap and great that you also, you know, use. This is all I've used in the past 5 years, but that's because I haven't put too much effort in kind of really, you know, researching work type of planners. But who knows? Maybe there's something out there that's just as good and cheap that might actually be better. So let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching today, guys.